Sneakers and Stories, a podcast from Pint of Stuff with Mr. B and SJ.
And like the other ones, I'm still very, very amused by that intro. So this is our third podcast, and we've got, I think, someone who has got one of the most immense sneaker collections. Certainly, if you're into Nike SBs, we've got with us this week on Instagram. He's known as Levi _ LR3, and definitely seems to know more about dunks than anybody I know. Also has an amazing record collection from the 90s if you're into that. So some welcome, Levi.
Thanks, nice to be here.
Yeah, it's funny. We're still kind of a little bit like
nervous,
finding our groove.
Well, it's strange for me as well. Like I was saying, I've heard you guys talk many times and you've never spoken to me, so I feel like I know you two, but the other way around is probably very different.
I don't know. I think well for me, obviously SJ's in the chat on the stream every week more than I am, but it kind of feels like, well, to me it feels like we kind of know everybody, even if we
that's good.
necessarily
yeah. It's a weird thing, but yeah,
I think so. But we're not here to talk about the weirdnesses of talking to people that you don't really know that well, but you feel like you know because you kind of you chat with them in chat on stream every week. So I think obviously we're here to talk about sneakers, and you clearly have a stupendous collection.
It's not as stupendous as it appears.
Really?
I don't believe
it's not. It's not, honestly.
I'm like because the reason I say that is you say, well, today, so it's Saturday. What is it? What's the date today?
The 21st.
Yeah, it's Saturday, 21st of March today, and you've put up a Dunk Mid from 2006, I believe. It's the wheat, but it looks like it's the one that inspired
the Lewis Marnell tribute.
Yes, and like,
well, yeah, they're not as in great condition as they appear. Trust me.
They always
honestly, they're not.
Amazing condition.
If you push the toe box down, they're separating a little bit. The midsole. There's some stains on them, all sorts.
But that just shows that you actually wear them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Exactly. So anyway, I am really, really impressed with these, and so
thanks.
I think the thing that I wanted to ask you, and it's really like we're intending to ask everybody who comes on the show, on the podcast, is what's your first, I suppose I'm going to call it your first sneaker memory, but the first time you the first shoe you really remember that stuck with you, that's really stuck in your mind and gone, that's either my first memory of shoes that's there, or it's the one that's kind of like it triggered me into actually I'm probably going to buy more shoes than most other people.
The first Nikes I remember having were a big deal when I was about 5 or 6. It's the same old sob story about having a poor childhood,
Mm-hmm.
But I got some Waffles when I was 6. The classic blue with a yellow swoosh, And there's this photograph of me and my sister sat on a bridge somewhere, and I've got like my leg ups, like showing off these Waffles, these Nike Waffles, because I just loved them, and they were such a big deal. And then I don't think I was that bothered. And then it got to about 1988, 89.
Yep.
And a friend of mine, we'd seen all the 80s movies, and they all had Nike trainers on, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
All of them, the Goonies, Breakfast Club, all those. So they were like cool trainers. And my friend, with his rich parents, went to Florida, and he came back with these. I think they might have been cross trainers or TWs or something, white with little fluorescent green bits. And they were just like the best thing anybody had ever had. They were just like, even though you couldn't, no visible air or anything, but they were just so cool. And then I got some cross trainer mids. And then the year after that was 1990. I remember it. And the Jordan 5s came out. and they were just the greatest shoe I'd ever seen. I was like, oh my God, I need some of them. But they were like £100 even back then or something.
And that's so much money for back then if you think about it. Like,
I know, it was insane.
like
I remember the Air Max and 180s, they were like £100 and it was
Yep.
just absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Then I remember sorry.
it's quite interesting because we were talking about this last week. They were really expensive, but
Yeah,
when you think about inflation, they actually haven't gone up that much since then, which feels even weirder.
that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, if you think about it, like, so what, I begrudge paying over £100 now.
I do.
And which is probably one of the reasons I love SBs. But,
Yeah.
but you think about what £100 was worth back then versus what it's worth now, and it's kind of nuts, really. It's
Yeah.
But yeah, have
we lost you?
have we lost you?
No, I'm still here.
Okay,
I think you're speaking.
Whoa.
There was just noise then, and it went really super quiet, which is weird.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. So obviously that was the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I couldn't get any Jordans because they were just too expensive. So I made do with the cross trainer mids. I remember having some Flight Saber, which I only managed to ID about 2 years ago. They were like mids.
Okay.
Ultra Force, I loved them.
Yep.
And then got into sort of like wearing Puma and stuff when I got into skateboarding a couple of years after that.
I think we've all had a kind of a Puma moment. Certainly for ages I just wore Clydes, didn't I, SJ?
Yeah, you wore them loads.
I mean, I still love them. I buy them and just rarely wear them. But I just think they look so nice, you know.
Well, isn't it though? See, I've got this theory. Is like I love suede shoes.
Yeah.
But it rains so much here.
They're not very good in England, are they?
No, we're not. It's like I don't know, like, because when we lived in California, I kind of like the paths were pristine
Because
because no one walks anywhere.
Well, yeah.
There's also no moss, and there's no
no moss,
and there's no dirt, and so like, or there's just dust. That makes no sense at all. But
no, I know what you mean. Just dryness. Yeah,
exactly. And so coming back here, it was like, oh no, I can't wear all of these light these suede ones. So I still want to buy them, but it's kind of like So you know, I think, you know, that's kind of interesting. So when we think about that, and we then think, you know, obviously you moved into skate shoes. My assumption is that it's SBs after that.
I didn't actually care about SBs. I remember actually, I came into some money and I'd started buying a few more pairs of trainers than I needed in like the mid 2000s. But I was buying all sorts, Adidas, like random Nike Blazers and Reeboks, even just the most random stuff that I just liked. And there was a shop in the Forum in Sheffield, which is like a shopping arcade.
Yep.
And it had like bars and stuff in as well. It still does. There was a shop in there. I think it was Toast. It was called. They used to sell like Stussy gear and like skate clothes and a few independent local labels. But they used to sell SBs, and they had this glass cabinet, and in it was the De La Souls, the original low ones, the white ones, signed by, you know, all three guys from De La Soul.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said, how did you do that? And said, oh, well, you know, they're not for sale. I was like, okay. And a few more pairs in this like glass cabinet, but they had like all these pink boxes up on the top shelf and a few SBs out. And the Trey Easter editions had just come out.
Yeah.
And because it was like around that era, you know, a bit before New Rave and all this, I was like loving the fluorescent colors again. It's like, oh my God, these are amazing. I need them. He says, we haven't got any 8.5 or 9s. I tried a size 8 on, and I was like, I just can't do it. They just don't fit. So I left them.
Yeah.
And then I kept going back, and the first ones I actually bought, I can't remember what order they went in. I think we're black boxes. So it was Brut highs,
Okay.
Morecambe Mindy highs.
You've got the Morecambe Mindies.
Yeah, but they're so battered.
Okay.
I mean, they are like, really battered. I know you don't believe me when I say my shoes. They really are. They're so hammered. And then the first low ones I got, I wasn't bothered about the low ones. First low ones I got were the Magnet and Poison ones from Gold Box
Wow.
era.
But
they're all just so hammered. Because I didn't have many pairs then,
Yeah.
so I used to wear them all the time,
Yeah, same here. And like, I still kept them, but they're really,
Yeah.
like you. In fact, there's some. This is how bad that some of them are, and SJ can attest. to
This way, talk about the trip into the sea.
Well, there is that. So there's that trip, and I'm still gutted that the hacky sack went into the sea. I can say that they actually held up really well, considering. And they only started fading like a few months later after that.
Oh, wow.
So but there's
Customized.
exactly. I think it's not the hacky sacks ones, is it, SJ, that have got the hole in the sole? I'm sure. Like,
No, they haven't.
there's a. I think it might be there's a wolf grey pair. I think.
They've got.
Oh, is it them tape box ones?
I'm not sure what they were.
With the ripstop material.
On the right. So the toe box is different. So maybe they were light. So they were this wolf grey. They've got sort of a red color to them as well.
Yeah, with the black swoosh.
I think so, SJ.
Either black or no.
I'm sure I posted them a while ago, and you were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I absolutely love them."
Yes. Well, they have.
Yeah, I know the ones you mean.
They've got a hole in the sole of them. That's how much I love those shoes.
Wow.
But now I'm kind of gutted. I'm like, I'm in that position of, which kind of brings me on to, and I'll let SJ kind of tee this up, really.
Yeah, so I talk about this a lot. I always end up loving a pair of sneakers way too much and just like battering them so that they
Oh
can't
God,
be
yeah.
worn anymore. So what is the one sneaker that you regret like really wearing too much and battering?
One. There's loads.
There must be one.
Can I have two?
Go on.
Okay.
My Red Lobsters.
Wow.
Whoa.
They're
Okay.
hammered. Like, they might not look as bad on Instagram, but if you look closely, you can see that the whole shine has just disappeared. They're just really flat now.
Yeah.
You can barely see any of the spots on them anymore. They've gone through and, inside the back on the heel and all sorts. I wore them so much. And the Peacock Mids.
Peacock Mids.
Yeah, they were black box from the Gentleman's Pack. They're like really bright turquoise with a yellow baroque sort of thing going on. But yeah, like all the suede is just completely hammered and they're all coming apart and all sorts. But
you've still got them.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about wearing them soon.
And you've still got the box for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I.
Huxley.
Yeah. So everyone can hear that. Huxley is doing his job right now, and he is guarding the house from marauders.
Excellent.
Exactly. He's keeping them at bay.
Keeping them at a safe distance.
Exactly. The reason I asked about the box is more because I keep all the boxes, but I do see some people that don't, and I'm kind of like, how do unless they buy those storage things, which I keep thinking about those plastic storage things just because it's got to be easier to like look for your shoes.
Yeah, and they're sturdier as well, I'm assuming.
But like not everybody keeps their boxes.
I don't know why they'd get rid of them.
I don't get it either.
I don't get it. I just think even when I see like some of my friends that have really expensive like heels rather than sneakers, and I'm like, you've got a £600 pair of shoes there and you've just thrown away the box. Why?
I mean, that box is like 50 quid straight away, isn't it?
Exactly.
Well, if you're gonna if I don't. But if you did want to resell something at a later date,
Yeah.
you've got to have the box.
I mean, I've got a friend. She wears a lot of heels, and she just has them all on like a big shoe rack.
Yeah, no.
I'm like,
No,
what have you done with all the boxes? She's like, oh, I always get rid of the boxes.
yeah,
Oh my god! And then you've got to dust them all as well after that. 'cause-
exactly. I just can't cope with that now. They've got to be in a box.
exactly.
Yep.
I mean, there are some I bought off eBay, you know, and they don't come with boxes, and I can't stand it because you know there's people like me and good old Lee Robbo who've been on a hunt for certain color boxes for years. You know, and then like we'll get new people join in our Facebook group, and they'll be like, "Has anybody got a black box I can have?" And it's like, "No, we've been on the hunt for years. You can't just swoop in and try and."
So,
I can't stand it.
what is the Facebook group? Because I don't think that we're actually members of it.
No, you know, I've recommended it to you a few times, but I think it's always on the stream. So you know, obviously, it's Nike SB Collectors UK.
I'm just going to look that up now. So it's Nike SB Collectors
UK, yeah.
Okay, because I'm in the US one.
Well, that's a very different vibe in that one.
It's a bit full on.
Yeah. See, the UK one, I mean, we've had loads of people join recently because of the recent hype.
Obviously.
But it's a group where we try and hook each other up, and we don't try and like make loads of money off each other. If somebody can do somebody a favor, they will, you know, which is great.
Yeah.
But like the admins on there's like me, Lou Gambino, which is Lewis Cooper.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him. He hasn't really been on the scene much in recent years. There's obviously Nate, Nate W, and Lee Robinson, who's Lee Robbo. The guy called Chris, and Marcel. I don't know if you remember Marcel. He used to be a big SB collector. He's like Mr. Olympia or something, bodybuilder dude.
Okay.
But yeah, like we're the admins, and it's basically a good group. And also, it's nice. I mean, there aren't many, but you know, it's nice to have women in there who collect SBs as well, because that American group, it's
testosterone a little bit.
Yeah.
A little.
And one of the things I always liked about the SB scene was it wasn't about like flexing hard and look at me, I'm rich.
No.
You know, it wasn't always about that, was it? And that's what I liked about it.
Well, it's I think you know, if you think about it, obviously, you know, SB came about as Nike finally figured out how to get into the skateboarding scene.
Yeah,
it took them a long time, but I think one of the things that I found interesting is because it's come out of the skate scene, which has a very different vibe. Invariably, you know, people are pretty chill in the scene. So I think it's come from that. And I think the other interesting thing as well is I think there's something about the way that obviously Nike's created many shoes, but there always seems to be a story around the shoes. And I think that just attracts a different type of collector.
I agree.
I think
you're right. Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
it's a lot more like. I mean, I don't like to refer to shoes as works of art, but it is a lot more artistic. You know,
I think
it's more that end of things than the sort of streetwear, like status thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you know, if you think about it as well, you know, I think we mentioned this earlier, like the cost of them is a lot less than Jordan's. And so it's a little bit more.
It's more accessible.
Yeah, that's exactly the word I was looking for, SJ.
More accessible from a wallet point of view, not so much from an actual managing to buy them point of view these days.
True.
These days. But you know, I suppose that was going to be. I was going to actually ask you what hype are you looking forward to at the moment, but I was thinking more on that. You know, that you've more triggered a question in my mind about, you know, what do you think about the hype at the moment for SBs?
On one hand, it's nice. It's nice if people are getting onto something. And actually, the other week, I was just going down to the shops, and this random skater dude said, "Oh my god, I love those." It was weeks ago now. I remember what I had on. It was the Shy Pink and Obsidian highs from the Pink Box era.
Nice.
He just said, "They're amazing," and I said, "Oh, cheers." You know, it's like, doesn't anybody around here even
Yep.
knows what these were. He goes, "Oh God, yeah, I used to love Nike SBs. Because it costs an absolute fortune these days. How did you get them?" And it's kind of nice. I mean, I'm not one of these show offs. I know I'm on Instagram and stuff, but I've never. The only reason I joined, like, after all these years, was to help me be able to buy pairs, basically. But it was kind of nice that somebody like said to me, "Oh my God, they're amazing. I love them." Obviously, my friends who know I'm into trainers obviously appreciate some of the designs and stuff. So I've sort of forced my useless knowledge on them. But yeah, it's good and it's bad because it's still resellers, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, not all, but
Not all, but it's just it just becomes frustrating when you want something and then you just see eBay just flooded with
yeah,
with
it's
what you wanted.
awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't manage to get the ray guns, either pair. I didn't get the Strange Loves.
Nope.
No.
I didn't get the infrareds.
Really?
No, I didn't get them. Couldn't get them.
Oh, I thought you got them.
No. Well, actually, I wasn't that bothered at first. And then a few days before drop, I was like, "Do you know what? I'm going to enter a bunch of raffles because I'll regret not getting them."
I'm going to. They are amazing.
I've watched the video. They look really nice.
I've really got, and they are.
They are really nice. It's such a classic colorway as well. I don't know what I was thinking.
They're surprising.
But yeah. But I didn't go for Travis Scott's. I mean, I entered some raffles for friends, but didn't manage to get them. So, God, it's in that respect, I can't stand it. I kind of liked being an outsider.
Yeah. It's like I keep saying, it's nearly the end of March now, and I still haven't managed to buy a pair of
Still not
sneakers.
bought any. My goodness.
Which is just so weird because pretty much, everything that I went in for last year, if I didn't get it for me or if I didn't enter for me, I was certainly getting it for Mr. B. So,
I mean, you even... Oh, no, you didn't. I was going to say, you even got the Paris to New York Jordan 1s, but you didn't, did you? You had to pay resale on them.
I didn't.
I did pay resale on that.
I've never done it.
No,
So, like I say, in one respect, I liked being an outsider, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to get some recognition.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know what it gets me. It doesn't inflate my ego or anything. I'm not bothered about what strangers think.
Although you say that, like that random kid who
that was nice.
Exactly.
He was a nice kid,
It's just a little nod every now and again. Like I like it when I walk down the street and you catch someone looking at your shoes and you look up and they can't give you a look, you give them a look, and like there's just a little acknowledgement, like you both know what I'm wearing.
But to be fair, it didn't happen much in this country anyway. When we were in the US,
it happened all the time.
Particularly,
really?
Yeah, I mean, particularly not quite as much where we live, but whenever we went down to LA, you would get people would stop and ask you about what you were wearing.
Oh my God!
Yeah, which is weird. It was weird at first, but then it was kind of like just random trainer strangers, or sneaker strangers. And you just sort of just strike up a random conversation.
No, I like that. I mean, I have the odd chat with people in shops and stuff.
Yeah.
When that weekend when the Strange Loves and the what were they? The other ones, the non-SB ones, the plums were dropping.
Yeah.
I went around every shop in the city centre and I was talking to this guy Foot Locker.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they wouldn't. You just got to go in on the off chance, haven't you? And he's like, "Oh my God, how did you get them?" And I was like, "I've had them for years." He's like, "I wish we sold Nike SBs in here, blah, blah, blah." He's saying about resale on them and all this. I was like, I'm not interested in that. I just like them to wear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I find dunks really comfortable. Like I could wear them all day, every day.
Yeah.
And like
I do.
I find blazers like that as well, at least SB blazers.
Yeah.
So comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've got a few pairs of like Air Max and Jordans and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't think they're my thing anymore, really.
It's I think that's fine. Like I in the same way that I think hype is cyclical, And I think, I do genuinely think this time next year, the hype will have moved on to something else. Although, given the circumstances that we're in at the moment,
I think it's going to go on a bit longer just because of, I think, the supply chain issues which are going to come.
I think you're probably right. Yeah,
I think the hype is going to be there potentially for another 2 years.
2 years, SJ.
2 years, you think?
Well, oddly enough, just before we came on to do this, so I'm actually selling my Element React. I always get this random way of React
What, the
Elements, whatever they are.
87s?
The 87s. I've put them on eBay just because I've decided I'm not going to wear them.
Yeah.
I should have gone up a full size. So I was like, oh, sod it, they're going. Somebody from Spain has messaged me saying, I know you said you won't ship internationally, but I'm in isolation. Will you consider it?
Sub story.
You know what, though? I think
you should do like a show like the X Factor. Get some, see if you can get the best sub story. They can have the chance to buy them.
We can get people to dial in and be like, I can't even remember the music for like.
I can't either.
But you know what I mean? Is that music for the sub stories? If we were in normal times,
it sounds so weird.
I know it sounds weird to say that, but if we were in normal times, I genuinely think that this time next year, the hype would have moved on to something else.
Agree.
It depends what they bring out, though, because I mean, going back to your question, which you're going to ask me in 3 minutes, I can see into the future. What I'm looking forward to, the elephants based on the old Atmos AM1s.
Yes.
I mean, they're supposed to be coming out in November. And if they do, or if they get put back to early next year,
that's true.
mean, if they keep putting out shoes like the Safaris and the elephants and things like that,
the hype,
I think it's going to stick around, the hype.
I think as well, Nike have, I think they've done some amazing designs that just on their other sneakers, not just SB, but I don't think they've created the next like iconic sneaker in their arsenal yet. I don't know.
I think they're trying.
Like a new model?
Yeah, like I think that's where SJ's going. Like, obviously all of the, I don't know, what was I looking at this morning? The Air Max 2090s, which are just not.
I don't think I've seen them.
They're inspired by the 90, but are supposed to be taking modern cues from all of the other modern silhouettes that they have. And there's this dark duck color.
Oh, nice.
It's camo, so I'm going to be into it in some way. It's camo. Who cannot like camo? And when I first saw them, I thought, and then I never looked this morning, and I wonder if, right, I'm sorry to say this, have I got to a point in life where
stuck in your ways?
I'm stuck in my ways.
Well, I am, and I don't mind. I mean, I remember in the 90s and all these new Air Max shoes had been coming out, and I was like, just look, what's the point in all this technology? I mean, it's not necessary, is it? And nowadays, all the things that are on shoes, it looks like some kind of steampunk engine or something. All like wires and sprockets, and it's just silly. I don't think they looked good. It's just not my thing. I think more now I dress like I did when I was 11 than I did
which is what I keep saying. I'm like,
really?
I'm basically staying as my 17-year-old self.
I mean, there was a time when I was moving forward with like fashion and all this, and these days I just look at myself and I think, oh my God, I've got a plain sweatshirt on, some baggy jeans and skate shoes. Like, this is the same way I used to dress as a child.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it. And in fact,
thanks for your support. I'm glad you feel the same way.
Oh, definitely. I'm kind of wearing everything I wish I could have afforded.
Yeah. If only you could find the stuff you wanted back then, though.
Exactly. It's just quite fun.
I mean, those shoes, like, I remember being 10 and 11 and stuff and going trainer shopping. And some of the shoes, I just wanted them so bad. Yep. You guys didn't feature these on your show, but what was it? Cross Trainer 3s, I think. A Supreme collab's coming out at some point. and they do like a white one and a black one.
Yeah.
And it's got that old school like 1990 cross trainer midsole. I can't explain it, but it was like my favorite sole on any Nike shoe ever. And honestly, ever. And they're bringing out like these cross trainer 3s in this foul colored Supreme collab. And I was like, these are disgusting, but this is the shoe I've wanted since I had them when I was 10.
Yep. That's funny.
And hopefully, with any luck, I put it on Crepe City Group and I was like, does this mean that they're going to start bringing this model out again now? Because, that's what we did with the AF2, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Supreme did a collab on the AF2.
They did.
Yeah.
And then they started bringing out some AF2s.
And actually,
well, hopefully they're going to start bringing these out again.
I think they probably will. Like for me, and I think I say this on every episode of this podcast. Everyone's going to get bored of me saying this. It is the Airwalk prototype. I do hunt on eBay for that. I look for it regularly. In black. I found it in random colors. It's the prototype. It's not the ones after, which had like lace covers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I look at it now, and I kind of, at the time, I wasn't really into Jordans. I wasn't thinking about stuff like that. And so now when I look at Air Jordan 1s, I know exactly why I like them and what led me to liking Air Jordan 1s and Dunk Highs. It's the Airwalk prototype. And it's the fact that Tony Hawk used to wear that. And then that I know that ages me massively.
I don't actually know how old you two are now. I want to ask. May I?
Well,
I'll move on. We'll move on.
Let's say I was.
I'm a lot younger than him.
Really?
She's younger than me. I'm. Let me see.
I just hung out with a load of old people when I was young.
Old people.
I was definitely running around London in the early 90s, like the right early 90s. I was going to Final Frontier. I was going.
Oh, really? So you're older than me then?
Yeah.
See, I'm 39,
40
this year.
A little bit older than that, but let's not talk about that.
Right, yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move on for sure. So,
but yeah, Airwalk, legendary. I mean, I remember that era and of all those sneakers and the Travel Fox and stuff like that. It was a good era, the late 80s.
It was. But then they I think, see, Airwalk never from the history that I read, Airwalk never wanted to be just like a skate sneaker brand. I think they wanted to be much bigger than that, a shoe brand, or they became
right.
And then they sold it. Like I've got what's that book I've got, SJ? It's is it the sneaker history book?
I think so.
It's the ultimate like sneaker history book.
History,
I think it was from the Sneaker Freaker Mag people.
Oh, right.
It's this big gold book. And it's like they've taken everything that I should have remembered and stuck it in a book, which is very useful for just dipping.
Brilliant.
Into. Yeah, it's amazing. But it talks through that, and it's got one of the it's got interviews with the original designers from Airwalk and what happened with the brand, and it's still out there now.
Amazing.
But they sold it to whoever who turned it into. You could get it down at like Tesco or Asda or Walmart.
Oh my word! It's actually owned by the company that own that Payless shoes in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's novel. There you go.
I just looked it up.
You learn something every day. So
every day is a school day.
Exactly.
Can I just say something else about Airwalk while we're talking about Airwalk?
Do it.
Do you remember the ones in the mid-90s, the Airwalk 1?
That
everybody had in the mid-90s.
Airwalk
the 1.
I don't think I do.
If you Google them, you go, oh, yeah.
Right.
They re-released them about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, my God, these are my youth. I bought 2 pairs because they ended up in the sales for like 20 quid. Nobody wanted them.
Oh, that's so sad.
And they're so comfortable.
Really?
They're like slippers, honestly. But I remember they were like everybody, like Bjork, Goldie, like all these cool people that were wearing the 1 from Airwalk. And like me and all my mates had them. And like they re-released them and just nobody wanted them. It's so strange.
It's funny. It's I think it's I don't know, like unless you're Nike or Adidas or Puma or Saucony or like the brands that that exists now. I don't know whether they could ever sort of bring back brands from that time that they were of a moment.
Well, I think age has got a lot to do with it, because there's people like you and me who like buy things now that we couldn't buy back then.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the majority of people who are into sneakers and streetwear in inverted commas are quite young, aren't they? And they just haven't got a clue.
You said that. I did not say that. So anyway.
Well, in a short way, what I mean is, like, they can read the books and they can watch the videos or whatever, but unless you were there, you miss a lot of the details, and things were different in different cities. Like you get like people wearing Stone Island and things. It's like, obviously, if you're into that sort of thing, there's some great designs, good quality stuff. You can read about the football history and all this lot. But if you weren't, it sounds so cheesy, but if you weren't out there living the life, you don't understand. I don't know. I know it sounds like really gatekeepery and old manny, but
I get what you mean. It's like we were talking about this with the Annex guys around brands and culture and how they're twined. And you see a kid in Stone Island, and you're like, do you get that was like a football hooligan top?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In some parts of the country anyway. But
I mean, I'm glad they're wearing what they want, Don't get me wrong. People can do what they want. They can wear whatever they want. But I don't know. And to me, people who wore that stuff were the kids that, like, tried to beat me up. And
yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Completely.
So it's like you see people wearing all this gear nowadays, and I'm like, well, these are the sorts of people I have always avoided.
They were the people that scared.
They're not in the same culture as me and my skateboarding and house music nonsense.
It's like my old CEO. He rocks up at work one day in a bright yellow Stone Island jacket, and I just couldn't take it seriously.
Yes.
And he's in his 50s, so he should know better.
Well, maybe he's one of the original. I don't know, football.
I think he likes
people.
Years. I really do. I really think he likes.
I might have to ask him about that.
Yeah.
Firm boys.
So as we we'll pivot.
I don't mean to slag off everybody, because honestly, I like people.
No, exactly. No, I was gonna. I was kind of. I'm gonna pivot the conversation a little bit.
Sorry, that's not what you wanted, is it?
I was curious because you said there in part of that chat that we just had, like you've never used StockX or
correct.
You mentioned eBay, and you picked up on eBay. I suppose my question sort of like, do you buy a lot on eBay, and then the follow on to that is, how do you know? And then what's the best purchase you've actually got on eBay?
I've always been a bit of an eBay buyer, to be honest, from years ago. I mean, some are obviously fake, obviously. I have made 2 mistakes, but that was a very long time ago, accidentally buying fakes. One of them was like Freddie SB's, like,
really
10 years ago. Oh god, they were horrendous. But I thought I'd risk it for like the price I got them for. I thought I'll risk it anyway. Then I put it down to a bad experience. But it's just one of them things. I just check it every night, It takes 5 minutes or whatever. And then sometimes you get lucky.
How lucky have you got?
I got a pair of Puff and Stuffs, worn once, original box, extra laces, everything, 30 quid.
What?
I know. This was 4 years ago.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah. No one.
I know. It's just madness.
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah, it's back to that.
even 4 years ago, you could pick up steals like that. And I was there, you know, expecting them to just go shooting up on the last like 20 seconds. I think my like highest bid was something like 75 quid or something. I thought I'm not going to go silly on them.
Yep.
Then nobody else bidded. I just could not believe it. And then like 2 years later, everybody's going mad for the Puff and Stuffs for some reason. They're going up to like 500-600 quid. I don't even know what they're at now. They're probably selling for even more now.
That's
Just,
but
I mean, that was one of my biggest steals on eBay.
it's I don't know. Because I am so fearful of fakes, because I haven't done a lot. We've sold random stuff on eBay, but not really bought a lot of stuff. I'm kind of like, I'm so hesitant that obviously the concept of StockX, certainly when I first started looking and buying on it 3 years ago, I think, and actually Goat before that, I was spending some time on. It kind of, even though I have no idea how they genuinely check, like just the amount that's flowing through them, and I'm sure they do, but you know, it just fills me with that little bit of, it just reduces the fear level, I think.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, with eBay, you are covered to an extent, but you know, you hear stories of people buying fakes off StockX and things, don't you?
True. I've got what have I got upstairs that I've not worn yet? I've got the Thomas Campbell What the Dunk from.
I was never a fan.
See, right. So, as I was saying earlier, you know, stories are the key thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that shoe was released in Atlas in San Mateo. The art in, there's a special box there. It's kind of connected with a store, and that was our local store. And so when we left, I was like, I can't believe that they've got a shoe that that's really centered around the artist and that store. And so I have that, but I had to buy it on StockX. I think that was my first purchase on StockX.
Was it a lot?
It wasn't a lot. It was 3 years ago.
Okay.
I think it was probably about £50 above retail, wasn't it?
Oh, that's not too bad.
No.
Compared to current, you know.
No, exactly.
Whereas I actually haven't looked up the price of those. I did notice, obviously because I visit the site, their programmatic media targets me in all random places. So they target me with the wheat dunks, which I had on the other day.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah,
I love them.
But they're like £200 now.
See, they ended up in outlets.
Yeah, I know. How does that work? I have no.
I remember thinking at the time I should get 2 pairs of these because I love them so much, and I didn't.
Well,
but I didn't because I rarely wear each pair anyway. What's the point?
I'm trying to think. Have I got 2 pairs? I've got 2 pairs of a couple. There's a Lance Mountain blazer.
Ooh, which one? Biker jacket one?
No,
old one?
It's not that old. It's I think it's 3 years old.
English Rose?
It's the Californian. So.
Oh yeah, with a rainbow.
Yeah, and the oversized swoosh. And I've got 2 pairs of those.
Yeah, I didn't get them. I don't know why.
And I think I accidentally got 2 pairs.
You'd forgotten you'd bought them.
Actually, no. Actually, no. So this is a stupid thing. I put a lowball bid in on StockX at the time, and didn't think anything of it, and just left it in there before they came out.
Right.
And it sits for like 30 days.
Yeah.
But then I found them over here.
I've heard this happen to other people, and they've ended up with like,
oh, well, okay, I'll have 2 pairs then, and I still actually haven't opened the second pair. So I'm assuming I've still got them.
Who knows?
I have no idea. So I can't believe we've been nattering for nearly 46 minutes here. It's nuts. So one of the things I was going to ask you then, and you probably already talked to it a little bit. We talked about the shoe that you beat too much. Have we talked about your most cherished shoe?
No.
Well, the most cherished shoes I don't own.
Oh.
Well, like to me, this certain pair of Puma Clyde I had when I was 13.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're in this salmon color with a black outsole,
Nice.
black laces, and oh my god, they're just so nice. Everybody ripped the piss out of me at school.
You were just ahead of your time.
They're like, oh my god, what are you wearing pink shoes for? They're not pink, they're salmon. It's
Salmon.
like Ross on Friends 10 years earlier.
Exactly.
It's not pink, it's salmon. But then, 2 years later, everybody sort of got on this skateboarding shoe sort of fashion. And I was like, I told you they were cool. But honestly, for a pair of them, I don't know what I'd be happy to trade off, honestly.
Really?
Oh my god, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about them. I just loved them. Most cherished that I own.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and I don't actually know. I don't think I care enough.
What?
That's not.
I know. I should. I don't think. I mean, there are pairs I love. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of pairs that I'm like, oh my god, I absolutely love them. Like Year of the Horse from 6 years ago. I absolutely love that pair. I got 2 pairs of them. Vamps from Silverbox. There was a long time when they were one of my all-time favorite pairs. The black with a red swoosh and red outsole.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 pairs of them.
All right.
Just because they go with everything and they're so comfy.
So, all right. So I'll twist the question ever so slightly then. If you're, this is slightly weird and morbid. So
no, I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going.
So if the house is burning down and you've got all the important people out and I don't know whatever else, you're allowed to
my important records.
Yeah, so we've managed to like rescue all the records. We've humped them out, and there's probably loads of them.
There is
exactly, and they weigh a ton. You're allowed to go back in and get 1 pair of shoes. I'm going to make you go in and get 1 pair of shoes, and it's burning down. Yes.
Yeah.
Come on.
See, now I'm thinking about value, and I shouldn't be thinking about that.
No, don't think about value. Think about memories, because your insurance is going to cover everything else.
Memories.
And it can't be those Pumas because you don't own them anymore.
No, it can't be, can it? It'd probably be. It'd either be. Oh god, this is impossible. It'd either be my heavy metal Nike Vandals. Do you remember them?
I don't think I do.
Oh my god!
I'm now quickly heavy metal Nike. That's actually
black.
That's a really underrated profile.
I mean, I love the Vandal. It'd either be them or probably the Spider-Man mid dunks, to be honest.
Nice. I could see why you would want to rescue those. I'm looking at them now.
Yeah, they're epic.
Wow.
They are amazing.
Oh my word. When were these?
It was around that time when I started getting really back in, like I was saying, in the mid noughties, I was sort of buying trainers, but it was sort of that 2006, 2007 when I was researching into all Nike SBs, and there was a time when like my grails were them Nike Vandal heavy metals in black.
They're nice.
Spider-Man mid SBs. What are the dunks? And oh god, what was the last one? I just had it in my head. Oh, Teen Wolf dunks, which weren't SBs. The movie Teen Wolf, right?
Yeah.
So they were like yellow and blue, the same color as like the basketball kit they all wore. And they got like this brown fur going up the tongue on the outside and around the inside. They're completely horrible.
Oh, I see them. Oh my!
They're so cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved that movie as a kid, and I love yellow and blue or orange and blue is always a color concept I always just really like for some reason.
You know
so
what?
I was just, and then later I found out there's only 72 pairs made, so that was that.
So what of the Teen Wolf dunk?
Yeah, only 72 pairs. So, basically, to answer your question, what you asked me about half a year ago, I think that it'd probably be the Spider-Man mids because, around the time I really started getting into actually doing research and getting into trying to buy trainers, they were one of the pairs where I was like, oh my God, I love them. That sort of pinky red. In fact, that's a similar sort of color to those Puma Clydes I was talking about earlier, but they're a bit darker. So the first pair of trainers I actually bought for Facebook group was them Spider-Man mids as well.
Really?
I was on the Crepe City group. I think I joined that in about 2013. I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And then somebody was like, so talking about Nike SBs and stuff. And this guy Lee was like, we've got a Nike SB group. Why don't you join it? Joined it. First post I saw was him selling some of them for 30 quid. Spider-Man mids. And I was like, oh my God.
They're so nice.
I know.
I'm looking at the pictures of them now. Is the sway like I'm just looking. My eyes are so bad.
The suede's really nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Although because of the color, my pair, it fades. It's faded pretty bad.
Okay.
I mean, not bad compared to some people's,
Yeah.
but like the pull tab, the strap across the middle, that's really faded,
But
I love them though. Them colors are great, aren't they?
They are. That works really, really well. Just looking at it now,
I think back to that time of 2013, 2014, and people just couldn't give SBs away. Some of the prices they were asking, and everyone was just like, "Nah." And I was so skint at that time.
No,
people were like, oh, I said, no, I really like these. And like, well, you can have them for 30 quid. And I was like, I can't afford to buy any more trainers. I was so broke.
Yep.
And now they're just like stupid money.
Well,
I mean, you got to get over it, haven't you? But...
I think so. I think.
You think so?
I think so. Right. So
take it to the grave. I'm gonna be angry forever.
You can't be angry forever.
Bitter.
Well, as I said, I think the hype is going to be cyclical.
Yeah.
I hope it is. I love the fact that more people are getting into dunks. Like it's, I think I appreciate the fact that more people are appreciating them.
Yeah.
That's great. It's slightly annoying, obviously, from everybody wanting them thing, but I think overall, the hype will die away. SJ says 2 years. I think maybe she might be onto something there.
Well, we've got it down now. Evidence is here. 2 years. What's your bet, Mr. B?
Well, see, I had originally thought 12 months. It's all dependent. It is all dependent on what's going to happen over the next 3 months, I think.
I think all this is going to last a lot longer than 3 months.
Exactly.
But then, because everybody is potentially going to be locked down, maybe people won't care as much about buying.
Maybe people won't be able to afford it.
Well, yeah, there's that as well. So
good point.
Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe people's priorities will suddenly change because they have to. So some of the hype will go away.
I mean, what if this is all going on in 6 years and we're all stood outside in our wellies like the good life people?
We'll still have an amazing collection of shoes.
Well, we'll have shoes with like tomatoes growing out of them.
I do always joke.
Use them as plant pots or something.
I do always joke that we're just going to be like this old couple just surrounded by shoes and nowhere to live.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm like, right, I'm going to be living in a corridor. On one side, hundreds of shoe boxes, and on the other side, thousands of records.
Yep. That's
just sleep standing up in between them all.
That's funny. That's funny. That is that SJ does say that to me every time. I'm like, well, I just bought another pair. Oh, and just like, did and she's like, did you get them? I'm like, maybe.
I don't mind the SB purchases as much. It's some of your slightly off-piste ones that I'm just like,
it's kind of a bit of a waste of.
Yeah.
Well, like
you have been sucked in with a few peculiar purchases.
I have.
Have you worn your Element Reacts?
I
Must be.
I have worn both pairs. I will be genuinely honest to the world. I should have gone up half a size.
Yeah.
They are a bit tight. They feel weird. Like, I love the squishiness. Like, I like to rock back on my heel in them because they just
feels nice.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this feels good. But because they're so tight at the front, they take me a bit of used to getting a bit of getting used to.
But you wear your undercover ones loads.
Oh, I love the undercover ones. Like,
oh yeah, I forgot you got them. Yeah,
probably shouldn't have got the moss ones. Oh no, the peach. It's the peachy ones I have, and you have the moss.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have probably got those. The one shoe that I probably really regret buying is I think it's a Human Race. SJ calls them my clown shoes.
Oh, I didn't like any of them. I did not understand.
I
didn't like the designs, and I don't understand the price tag.
No, I
just don't get it.
I fell for it.
I just put it down to me being a grumpy old man and not being down with the youth.
I don't. They look weird, but I wanted to try. Like, I was trying to branch out and experience the whole world of sneakers. And
no, good on you for doing so.
Expensive way of experiencing the whole world of sneakers. I can't sell them on StockX or anything, and to be fair, the values of them just plummet like mad. So
really,
so we'll probably try and sell those on eBay at some point. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have bought those. I really shouldn't. It's
I mean, we've all done it. I'm trying to think of some ridiculous ones that I've bought, and I've been really boring over the last 5 years. Actually, I used to buy a lot of Nike Toki. Do you remember them?
Nike Toki.
Yeah, Toki.
No, I don't know those. Oh,
Toki.
But they were really comfy. I used to wear them all the time. I've still got a bunch of them. I sold a load, but I've still got about 6-7 pairs.
They look like.
Recognize them? Like chucker sort of things.
Yeah, gotcha. Yes, yes.
I know what you mean.
They look like a weird cross between. Let me have a look. They look like a weird cross between like a blazer and a Janoski.
Yeah, that sort of smartish, casual sort of thing going on.
Yeah, no,
I haven't got any crazy pairs anymore.
It's probably a good thing.
It is from a space point of view. I've still got some old 5.0 free running ones.
Nice.
That are the comfiest shoes in the universe.
Nice. Do you see, I was, if you think about it, right? So if we are all going to have to wear wellies and be outside doing the good life thing, you know what just occurred to me? We have got an amazing collection of slippers.
Oh, well, this is true,
Our shoes. We are going to look so good.
We're going to be the flyest gardeners on the planet.
Exactly. It's exactly going to be that.
Can't wait for Instagram in a few years to see all these gardening SB pictures.
It's going to be funny.
It's going to be good.
And as SJ says, we've got many plant pots as well. We could the ones that I've really beaten, we could grow things in. They're probably lots of nutrients.
They're probably already growing things in them, to be honest.
Yeah, I actually thought about doing that. The other week I went up to some shops. I thought, I'll go around the charity shops. You never know what I might find that I can make millions of pounds off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be honest, that's how I used to pay for my sneakers. I know it's frowned upon, but I used to do it. And sometimes I'd give the people in the shops more than they asked for things if I knew they were worth more, But it used to pay for my sneakers when I was, like I say, when I was used to be really broke or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
anyway, so the other week I thought I'd do it just, I don't know. And I found a pair of the Balenciaga Arenas in a charity shop for £1.
What? Really? What sort of charity shops around your way?
Were they real?
Well, I didn't know because they're all faded and stuff. And I was like, I've never seen this colorway. And I was looking on legit checks online when I got home. And I wasn't sure. I posted them on the Crep City group, and everybody laughed at them, obviously,
Of course.
Everybody ridiculed me. I was like, they cost me £1. Why wouldn't I, take that risk? Who cares?
That's fun.
I thought, I'm going to use them as a plant pot and post it on Instagram and just upset a bunch of rich people. But I haven't done it because they are actually quite nice, you know. I mean, I'm not a fan of the shoe. It's the fact that some idiot has put them in the washing machine.
What?
And they're all faded and like, I think they were like there's like a British racing green, really dark green leather, but some idiots put them in the washing machine, so they're all faded. They look like a bit of dip dye / tie dye thing now because they're all just hammered.
So
but the leather is so nice, really nice quality.
Leather in the washing machine.
Who was thinking that?
Just what I mean. That area where those charity shops are. I don't like to generalize about certain areas in my fair city, but I'm not gonna finish this sentence.
You dig yourself into some kind of hole there.
Yeah, I'd think about doing podcasts like this, and I think, yeah, I'll do it, but everybody's going to hate me because I've just got such.
Not at all. It's just funny where the brain goes. You can go on some random tangents, and then
yeah. But I still might make him into a nice plant pot. I think it'd be good, nice little art installation.
Exactly, and you need that at this time of
Exactly. It'd be good for the bees, you know, good for nature.
Yeah, just don't put it in your front garden because it'll probably get.
Oh, they'd be gone. Yeah, they'd be gone in minutes.
Oh, that's funny. Well, thank you for joining us on this. It's
all good.
It's been like, obviously this is our third one. I think
who have you done? You've done SJ, you've done the Annex.
Yeah, we've done you. Hopefully be talking to Attitude. Be talking Strix. Yeah. So a bunch of people. Yeah. And hopefully we can keep going with this. I hope the audio on this one is good, everybody.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good at this end.
It sounds good to me here, but it always does on these headphones that I'm wearing right now. So I just want to say to you, thank you, everybody who's listening. Don't forget to subscribe. If you are on Instagram, you can find Levi.
Amazing sneaker collection.
And his amazing sneaker.
Not amazing.
We're just going to make you go red.
It's like every time I open it up, it's like, oh, look at those. Oh, look, it's Levi.
The thing is, you know, you look at me and then you look at someone like Nate. And I know Nate's a special case.
He's just a very, like, you can't.
He's a special boy.
Yes. You can't compare.
I know. But, you know, like, I thought, you see all these people doing 366 days of SBs this year. And I'm like, I can't do that. I've only got like 150 pairs of Nike SBs.
Only 150 pairs. Like, I think we've probably got about that as well. But
exactly. See,
I think I need. I suppose. While I was wrapping up, I was just going to say, like,
sorry, yeah.
I've stopped counting. Like, I've literally stopped counting.
I had until I decided to like do an audit. Well, just to see what I owned. You know?
See, I've just flipped onto your Instagram again. I've just seen that you've got those SB chuckers in the violet from last year, which I really wish I bought and I didn't.
It took me so long to actually get around to buying them because I just wasn't sure.
It's such a nice colour.
I know, they're great, aren't they?
Yeah. I might have to try and hunt them down, actually.
We need to.
Have they all disappeared now?
This is the thing. I'm pretty certain they were on sale around Christmas time, and I was just like, should I? And
I mean, there are certain stores that just keep stock forever, but they never put it on sale. So it's up to if you want to pay full price for them or not.
Yeah, I may have.
I find they fit really long, actually. Them
really?
Yeah, I don't know though, because I mean, all the blazers I have are 8.5, and they're 8.5, and there's so much room at the end. I don't know if it's because of the height of them or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
it makes the feet sit differently in them or something. I don't know, but they feel really long to me. So you could probably go down half a size if that's easy to find.
See, now you've got her looking. Now going to be. She's
sorry.
Exactly. You've triggered something now, whereas I'm like.
It's only because I haven't bought anything this year. I'm getting twitchy.
I know.
All year, it's unbelievable. I mean, you must be like sleeping on wads of cash, spending it on sneakers, throwing it up in the air, you know, like they do in movies.
If only.
Could be like,
well, yeah.
we could be like Scrooge McDuck and be
Yeah, when
diving into
all that
DuckTales. Diving into it.
So I just want to say thanks for joining us, everyone. You can check him out on Instagram. That's Levi. Don't forget to join us. Don't forget to join us. Sorry, I'm losing all my words. Don't forget to join us on Sneaker Streaming Sunday on YouTube. This podcast is clearly, obviously, on all your favorite podcast platforms and on YouTube. And we will see you in another video, but I suppose, and another podcast. See, I'm so used to doing the YouTube thing that I just naturally say we'll see you in another video. But so until next time, everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Levi, again. And
no problem. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Sneakers and Stories.